This video gives an overview of the supporter extra features available with the BTBerryWifi app, which lets you set the Wi-Fi network on a Raspberry Pi using your phone's Bluetooth. Start the app normally by scanning for Raspberry Pis. Select the Raspberry Pi from the list. In this demo, there is only one in range. The app indicates that it is connecting to the Raspberry Pi and that it is fetching the list of Wi-Fi networks available to the Raspberry Pi. This is displayed in the Wi-Fi tab. See Part 1 of the video for details on the features of the Wi-Fi connection screen. To access the supporter features, tap the lock icon at the bottom of the screen. If you are not yet a supporter, you are presented with the opportunity to become one. This functions as a tip charge where you select the level based on the value you see in the app. Here, I am selecting the Great Supporter level. Once the order is processed by Apple, the lock screen appears. We see that this Raspberry Pi is currently unlocked. The Bluetooth messages such as SSID network name and password are sent in clear text over the Bluetooth channel, and anybody with the BTBerryWifi app in the vicinity can connect to this Raspberry Pi. Let's lock it down. A password box appears. The password for this Raspberry Pi was created when the Python files were installed on it. By default, the password is the host name of the Raspberry Pi. Here, it is BTWiFi-DT. If the password is incorrect, you will be allowed 3 tries before being disconnected from the Raspberry Pi. The password is correct, and the Raspberry Pi is now locked. We see that Bluetooth messages will now be encrypted between the iPhone and the Raspberry Pi. We also see that users who do not have the password will not be able to connect to this Raspberry Pi. It is possible to unlock the Pi and to relock it. When locking it again, the password is not necessary. The password for this Raspberry Pi is stored in your Apple keychain and automatically used when the Raspberry Pi is locked. Let us now look at the other supporter feature, Extra Raspberry Pi Info. First, if the Raspberry Pi is connected to a network, you get the IP4 and IP6 addresses of the Raspberry Pi on the Wi-Fi network. This is useful if you need to SSH into the Raspberry Pi. The next section gives the MAC addresses of the Ethernet, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth adapter exposed by the Raspberry Pi. Finally, a list of all available networks in the vicinity is provided. The signal strength in dBm is shown. Less negative is stronger. The channel and frequency of the SSID is also given. This can be useful when setting up a router where there is a lot of interference. One more item can be shown below, but not seen in this video. It is possible to edit the Python code so that when the info icon is tapped, the Raspberry Pi fetches some user-defined info and displays here. Now, let's look at what happens when somebody does not have the password to a locked Raspberry Pi. The app starts normally, and the list of available Raspberry Pis is presented. Tapping the name starts the Bluetooth connection process. However, as soon as the connection is established, the Raspberry Pi requests confirmation that the user has the password, and, if not, you are disconnected and shown a password screen. In this case, even if the password was stored in my keychain, I cannot continue because I have changed the password on the Raspberry Pi. As a result, I see this screen. Not aware that the password has changed, I type in the old password. The Bluetooth connection is again attempted, but fails. If I enter the correct password, however, the connection is established and I can continue normally. The password will have been updated automatically in my keychain. As a result, the next time I start the app, I will not see the password screen, but go directly to the app's functionality.